to the Hellmouth. Hope everybody's doing 5x5. This is Major Slayage, Ket and Arik rewatch Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm Arik. To my right, your left, my amazing, brilliant, hilarious, beautiful, talented co-host and wife. You know her as half of the powerhouse duo that is Kim and Ket Stay Alive, maybe Ketryn Porter.
Hello. I really like this shirt on you.
I like the shirt on me as well.
I think you look really nice today.
Well, thank you. That's what a wonderful way to start the show. So we're watching Buffy from the beginning, every episode coming at you every Monday. And this will be episode 4 of the first season, Teacher's Pet, which weirdly I saw on some lists as like, this is a skippable episode or only watch it because it's fun bad. I think it's got some campy elements, but I enjoyed this. I'm along for the ride so far.
Yeah. No, but I can't argue with that point, you know? Like it's an accurate point. But yeah, I mean, they're all fun. Like and I also think that that's what this first season was. It was fun.
Yeah.
You know, when we get into, I feel like season 2 is where we start to get, real feelings.
Yeah,
you know,
this is still kind of monster of the week or monsters of the week, as we'll get into. So before we kick things off, I do want to talk about this because I felt like we were running long last week, so I didn't bring it up. But we have started a Patreon, and we're very excited about this because we think we've got some cool stuff to offer. We're not doing all kinds of tiers where you got to decide what level do you want to be at. Everything's $5, 5x5. Everything we have to offer, $5. So what do we have to offer?
What do we have to offer? I'm very excited to hear all that we have to offer.
So in addition to this show, which is on YouTube, we have an audio version, which you can listen to on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. And that's on there. So if you want to just watch it on YouTube, that's great. That'll always be free to everyone. But for $5 a month, you can get all 4 episodes every month, every Monday, in your earballs. So if that's more convenient, that's how you like to enjoy us. You don't want to look at me and my awesome shirt. Completely fine.
You need some company at the gym or on a hike or something. We'll come with you.
Yeah, we've got you covered there. In addition, every time we do one of these before we record, generally right before we record, although sometimes schedule permitting, it's not always possible. But whatever the case, we watch the episode, and especially these first few seasons, I'm watching them for the first time in years. And we do commentary and live react to the entire episode. So it's basically a whole second show every single week of us watching the show. That's available on video and audio format. So again, that can be in just your earballs, or you can watch us watch it and see us looking just slightly off camera and reacting to a TV that you can't see. You sync that up, you can watch along with us. And it's like having your 2 annoying theater dork friends talking over the entire show.
Right.
In addition to that, we did a warm-up episode that we call episode 0, while we were still kind of figuring out what we wanted this show to be. And we did that on the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie starring Christy Swanson.
And Luke Perry. Let's say it stars Luke Perry.
Stars Luke Perry featuring Christy Swanson. Introducing Pee Wee Herman and Larry Bird.
There we go.
And a million other people are in it. But so we did an episode and a watch along for that. You can get both of those on Patreon as well. And then just for fun, this isn't like the main selling point, but I put together a playlist that, to the best of my knowledge, contains all the music from the show. It's called Major Slayage. I guess I probably shouldn't have said what it's called. You probably go find it on Spotify on your own. But you join our Patreon, we give you a link to our playlist of all the music from the TV series. So that's what's available there now. So we're doing episode 4 now. You're going to have 5 watch-alongs, including episode 0, 5 episode audio podcasts. And we've got some other fun stuff planned. I think we might do some watch-alongs for some related media. We've had some people suggest maybe we should do a watch-along for Repo, the genetic opera.
Oh, that's
Anthony
a good one.
Stewart Head, which I think we're going to do.
Actually, and if you're into that movie, there is an episode of Kim and Ket Stay Alive where we covered Repo. What's
Repo, the genetic opera.
Thank you. Repo,
it's
the
one of my
genetic
favorite movies
opera.
of all times. We'll put the link to that in the notes below here if you want to go listen to our other show, Kim and Ket Stay Alive, maybe, where Ketryn and Kim Burns try to survive horror movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our Patreon. So we'll have the link below, but you can just find us patreon.com/Major Slayage. Wanted to get that out of the way right here at the top. We have a space held for Marital Grievances. If you would like to bring something up, I didn't bring anything this week because I'm very content in our marriage.
Oh, good.
I have a feeling you're not.
No, I don't even have any grievances. I actually just have a series of questions that I'd like you to answer.
Okay.
Do you remember like how long we went without a dishwasher?
Yeah. Up until August of last year.
Isn't it so nice having a dishwasher?
It's fantastic.
Isn't it so nice when your wife empties the dishwasher and cleans the whole kitchen in the morning, that any dish that you use throughout the day can just be put into the dishwasher and not pile up in the sink? Isn't that fun?
See, I feel like my take on that is I put things on the sink because I'm coming and going. I'm busy. I'm doing stuff. I'm in and out of the house. I'm walking the dog. I've got errands to run. I'm locked back in my office working on this show.
You're right. It does take a lot of time to walk one half step more over to the dishwasher and put it in.
So I prefer to load the dishes all at once. So this is just a difference in philosophy.
So you just like to have like a dirty kitchen all day that becomes more and more unusable until the very last minute when you go,
I mean,
maybe I'll put these in the dishwasher.
Let's be honest. We're talking about 4 plates, 2 glasses, and 3 spoons.
Like, you'd think, but it's as if
it's not as if we didn't do it for weeks. We do the dishes once a day.
It's as if you are a tribe of 12 men with the amount of dishes you figure out a way to use every day.
Well, my toxic trait is that I need to microwave the different components of my meal sometimes for different amounts of time. And so I will use a different dish for every course of my meal. Or every,
that sucks.
I'll do my beans in one bowl. I'll do my rice in another bowl.
Yeah.
I'll warm up a tortilla on this plate. So I guess
sucks a butt, dude.
I guess I do use some dishes.
Sucks a butt.
But I'd say I do the dishes about 40% of the time, like running the dishwasher.
And who's the other 60%?
That's you. But but I do 100% of the laundry.
Moving on. Let's do a spell. Okay.
All right. We got a spell.
So I have to kind of be inspired to write my own spell, do a cauldron spell. And through no fault of its own, this episode just didn't get my juices flowing. So I thought we would just do an oracle card today. And so we're just going to put a message out there. If you believe in this kind of thing, you can just kind of think along at home, and Arik is going to pull a card, and there's a message there for you that you can apply to your life in some way.
I had a friend who once explained this kind of thing once, because he's very much not into any kind of woo-woo or magical thinking. And he's like, tarot or oracle cards, it's just kind of like a word of the day calendar that just, it gives you something to think about throughout the day. It doesn't have to, you don't have to buy into the magic of it to get something out of it. So whatever comes out of this, it's just a little thought you can carry around.
So you be the shuffle monster.
I'm shuffling.
Or just, whatever. I'll hold your mic for you.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm walking here.
It's too fun not to do that.
Yeah.
You get to shuffle with one of the mics. All right.
Beautiful ASMR.
All right, let's be done with that. There's your deck. What do I do now?
Pull a card.
Pick a card, any card. I kind of feel like magicians do a thing where they call a force, so they can, it looks like it's your choice, but they actually want you to pick a specific card.
What's your card?
And I feel like you wanted me to pick this card. This says Enchanted Fern Grotto Refuge. Let's get a look at that. We're not sponsored by this Oracle deck, but
66.
Ooh.
Let's see.
Oh, this says 16 here. Does that make a difference?
No.
Okay.
It's what page I find it on.
Oh, got it. So you got a little guidebook there.
I'm just going to read okay. Magic is afoot in the enchanted grotto. Long rays of light stream through the forest canopy above. This is the time to go within. Seek and find your inner refuge. Take time for deliberation and reflection. In times of retreat, you can truly hear the voice of your soul.
Well, there you go. There's a thought to carry around with you the rest of your day.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. All right, shall we get into the episode?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, we open on a very exciting vamp fight at the Bronze where Xander is kicking some vamp ass.
Yeah, Buffy seems a little overwhelmed. looking damsel-y.
Very damsel-y.
And then Xander pops in, pulls the vamp off of her, got all kind of hot shot machismo.
It makes you realize what it, like, to me, it made me realize I've always found Nicholas Brendan to be a really watchable actor.
Yes.
I think he's great as an actor. It made me appreciate his acting even more because I was wildly attracted to him in his dream life.
Yeah, you said too when he breaks a leg off a chair and throws it at the vamp to stake it.
It looked real good.
Yeah, so he could have done like actiony stuff. I mean, I think he got kind of pigeonholed with this role where it was like, oh, you're like the incel dork, but
he's really like he's really watchable. Like
he's a good
really
physical actor. Yeah.
I also think he there's something similar. Like, I understand why his character is despised on many a message board. But he himself, I will go to my grave. He brings a charm to it that allowed us to stay with him for 7 seasons and not like write him off as like, get this fucking guy out of here.
And I think that he does serve to reinforce the themes of the show of like these powerful women in a world built for men.
Yeah.
And he's sort of a symptom of that. I think you've talked about that before, that he's a victim of the patriarchy too. So I think he serves a purpose. I think in the same way some people complain about Dawn. Oh, Dawn's just annoying. No, Dawn was there.
Who?
Jumping ahead a little bit. But Dawn really is an emotional grounding for Buffy. It's her most important relationship that's not a boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like she serves a purpose. And in fleshing out who that person would be in real life, that would sometimes have annoying characteristics attached to it. I feel like Xander
if you don't know who we're talking about, you'll find out soon.
Xander functions in some of the same way, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So he does a hot move, stakes a vamp, shreds on the guitar. Eric said it was perfectly executed, very realistic guitar playing.
He was not playing any of those notes.
He was playing it live. Eric was really impressed.
None of the guitars of the band on stage were plugged in, but
it was perfect. Eric was jealous and thought it was really great. And then Buffy in the dream starts being like, "You're drooling," and it was a very what did we say? A very Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, the episode where Mac's gonna take the slap shot from center ice for a chance to win some radio contest, and he slips and falls.
Thinks everyone is cheering Mac, but they're actually trying to arouse him,
get him to wake up from being unconscious because he cracked his skull on the ice.
Yeah, so Zandy Pants wakes up to Buffy telling him that he's drooling in science class.
Yes.
So we get a little bug science. And then Miss Dr. Gregory asks Buffy to stay after class.
Is that common in high schools for doctors to be teaching biology high school class? That was not the case in any of my schools.
Actually, my biology teacher, Dr. Lolita Norona Blob. She was a doctor.
That name sounds made up.
It's not. Dr. Lolita Norona Blob, and I believe she is now a published poet.
That sounds like a name where if someone stopped you and asked for your name and you had to come up with a fake name on the spot, you would say that.
That was my bio teacher.
And what's your name, young lady?
Yeah. Dr. Lolita Norona Blob.
Exactly.
Yeah. She seems honestly much happier than she did as a biology teacher now that she's a poet. Or I might have just been an irritating student. I think I was just an irritating student.
I don't see why it can't be both.
Could be. Yeah. So, but this teacher in particular is like taking an interest in Buffy in a way that Buffy clearly craves. I think she came in as like, oh, this is the problem, student. Everybody hold your gyms. She's going to burn them down if we don't.
Because he's giving her what sounds like some backhanded compliments. Like, oh, I'm sure you're going to do great things. And she thinks he's being sarcastic. And he's like being encouraging.
No, I think you're going to do great things. And he's also like, you're really smart. Just study, which we have commented. Buffy's really smart.
Yeah, I think the nickname I came up with for her during the watch along was Columbuff,
which is so great.
She's a detective and she's always putting the things that she got right to the Amy
which situation switchy witchy
situation,
the switchy witchy situation.
Yeah. And she is able to put everything together, and this has some really clever ideas.
We don't have to worry about spoilers of episodes we've done. just episodes.
No, I'm saying spoilers for this one here.
Oh, okay, fair. So Buffy is bolstered by that. It was lovely. And as she leaves, she's like, yay, a teacher likes me. And he keeps looking at his slides until a weird insect hand comes out of the frame.
It does exactly this.
And it looks like this. Like this was the shape of the hand. And
so that's a wrap on
Dr. Gregory, which is so sad. So let's go back to the bronze. Xander is still kind of coming out of his dream, I guess, because he goes and like tries to smile at the lead singer to be like, you and me, brother. And the lead singer is like, go away.
Right.
Go away.
You're not my flavor of groupie.
Yeah.
Is the vibe this guy's giving him.
Yeah. So then he goes over and two epic douche bros are talking at the snack counter.
Yeah, one we learn is named Blaine.
Uh-huh.
And the other one, I don't ever think we catch his
name.
He's
a person of color, so he remains nameless, as this show has proven to do up till now.
Yeah, we're in episode 4, and nobody with any melanin has a character name yet.
Nope.
They're talking
fingers crossed for episode 5.
They're talking about how many girls they've slept with.
Yeah, and of course Xander has not. But he's got a quippy comeback instead.
Yeah, which we will cover in our superlatives later.
Yeah. But then he sees Buffy and Willow come in and decides to use them for his street cred.
Yeah, I think they're kind of on board mostly. They wing woman him, so he's Hugh Hefner. He's got his arms around 2 girls.
I mean, we used to do that kind of. I mean, when more of us were single.
Oh, I said we never did.
No. When more of us were single, like even before you were in the picture, like if we were trying to, play wing girl for a friend, we would definitely like flirt with our guy friends very obviously, so that another girl could sort of see he's verified.
Yeah, we had a version of that as well, where I had a female friend who, looking back on it, I think maybe wanted to date me, and I just didn't like put it together.
Mm-hmm.
But we would say to her like, "Hey, I'm gonna go talk to that girl. 2 minutes. Can you come up and just give me the biggest hug? And just like, you're just so excited to see me.
Yep.
And I can divert my attention away from the girl I'm hitting on, focus on you for a second, and then turn back." And the same, like you're saying, like now I'm verified.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I have a feeling Xander made Willow do that a lot before she figured it out.
As I spell it out now, it sounds desperate, but I think
what sounds desperate?
Having your female friend come up to make you look cool in front of a girl
it's
you're trying to hit on.
Games. It's all nonsense games.
It's a war zone out there.
Yeah, it's all
Every man for himself.
Primal lizard brains just trying to figure out how to have a community. You got to do what you got to do. If nobody's getting hurt and you're verifying your street cred.
Yeah, I'm asking an actual friend to come up and pretend to be my friend. I guess it's not that devious.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So Buffy becomes immediately distracted by Mr. I took some acting classes last episode.
Yeah, his acting has gotten better. His writing has not, but you know, one thing at a time.
But one thing that he's learned how to do is just like less.
Mm-hmm.
Less.
Yeah,
you don't have to.
Angel is much less finger guns, smirking.
just do less, and so we're starting to see the brooding
a little bit
more.
Yeah, we just turned the brightness down a little bit.
Yeah, and it's working.
Is it now?
'Tis working for me. I lost my place.
Oh, they got some fun banter, and he called Buffy's. I would say I'm happy to see you, but that would be a fib. But clearly, she's telling the truth. And he's like, "You're cold," and she's
like, "You can take it."
And then he goes, "No, I mean, you're cold." He takes his jacket off, and he's just in a wife respecter.
Yeah,
which is a term
KK
from
Sam term.
KK Sam. The common nickname for a white tank top is horrific, and I can't believe we just say it.
I know
without thinking about it.
Yeah,
so, Kim and Ketryn came up with
a wife respecter, and I do feel like Angel would be a wife respecter.
So it depends on what mode he's in.
Fair. But, Angel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he puts the jacket on her, and she's all gooey.
And man, as a girl, that's the blue ribbon first place trophy when a guy gives you something of his to wear, ooh boy, you're like, this guy is toast and I'm the toaster. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I get.
This guy's toast.
You put the bread inside. I guess we're okay.
Yeah,
I'm with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Xander is obviously not happy that
he does call him
Buffy's
buff.
a toaster. Yeah.
He's like, oh, she didn't say he was buff.
Right.
It reminds me of that scene from was it Infinity War, when the Guardians of the Galaxy find Thor floating in, they find Thor floating in space and he's asleep on the table, and everyone's just talking about how fucking manly he is, and Star-Lord's like, I mean, he's not that manly. He's not in that good of shape. It's the same vibes.
Yeah. Well, Angel is in that good of shape.
He is.
So
2 tickets to the gun show.
Yeah. So we got to go to school now. It's the next day. I don't know how these kids are getting their homework done. I got to be honest with you. Like, they're at the Bronze every night. I could not study in that environment. There's a live band happening.
And there's all kinds of sexual rendezvous. There's all kinds of sexual rendezvous happening. And
I didn't see anybody crack a book.
Yeah.
Not a book was cracked. So the next day, she is wearing Angel's jacket still, and Xander is wearing an inexplicable velour lapelled terry cloth Scooby-Doo cosplay shirt.
Yeah, it looks like he's dressed as a mascot and it's just unzipped the hood of it, the mask of it, and it's turned into this enormous butterfly collar.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not great.
I am like, I've had fittings for TV before, and like, it just feels like this particular costume department was just taking some weird ass swings. Just some real weird swings.
But weren't you saying too that they didn't have much of a wardrobe budget for the first season?
So they went to the mascot store?
So it could just be that they either asked people to bring their own stuff in, or they just went thrifting. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I don't know how this got past a fitting.
Nor I. But Xander also has some news, and he's like, yo, we have a substitute in science today, which, as we all know in kid terms, means it's goof off day unless you have me as a sub. I was the highest requested substitute by teachers for actually getting work done, and the lowest requested sub by students for making them work.
Do you have a certificate that says that?
No, I should. So he's like, there's a sub coming, and Dr. Gregory isn't here, and Buffy finds that weird.
Yeah.
So,
and then we get slow-mo walk montage of the sub.
Yeah. And one of my comments about her is like, she is very 90s hot. Like, she's very that look.
Yeah.
And I miss it. I miss not just 90s look, but I miss people like looking different.
And looking like beautiful,
actual
but real people.
Yeah. And she's a strange looking woman, and she does sort of give, well, not to spoil, but she does give bug,
which might be some of why she was cast.
Yeah. Xander obviously like can absolutely not keep it anywhere close to in his pants.
No, he's doing like God.
Yeah,
eyes coming out. Like, it's a whole thing.
It's super embarrassing. And here comes Blaine Mull, who directs the teacher to the classroom by saying, it's near the Berry Field where I took all city last year. This fucking guy is going to be quoting that stat for conservatively the next 80 years.
Yeah, he's living in his glory days right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's never, he's peaking, and
we're watching it.
He's almost aware of the fact that, like, it's never going to get better than this.
Almost aware, but you'd have to have a level of self-awareness that I don't think poor Blaine possesses at this time, or anytime.
But he's already humping it so hard that there's a desperation to it.
Well, is he humping? We'll find out.
He's humping this fact.
Yeah. So Xander did have a relatable line right here, because Blaine gets to lead teach to the classroom. And Xander says, funny how the earth never opens up and swallows you when you want it to.
Xander had a few good lines this episode.
He did.
He may show up in our superlatives.
Yeah. So we are heading to science class now, and Buffy does find it weird that Dr. Gregory's glasses are still there.
They're on the ground.
On the ground.
Countless students have walked over them on the way into class, but Columbuff.
Yeah, and she's like, if somebody drops their glasses, as someone who drops their glasses at least 100 times a day,
I always look for them instantly
and pick them up.
I've never had my glasses fall off
and
then
said, well, that's it.
And said, I'll circle back in a couple hours.
Or just said, I guess I don't wear glasses anymore. Bye. So she clocks that, and now we're getting a lesson from Natalie French, and she is a bug enthusiast.
She's all about a praying mantis. So I've decided for the rest of the episode, I'm calling her Dr. Mantis Toboggan.
Love it.
So that when we say that, that's who we mean.
Yeah. And we learn a couple things about praying mantises. They're cannibals. The females are larger and more aggressive, and they bite the heads off of their mates. They lay several hundred eggs. And then she says, who wants to come over to my house and help me make some model egg sacs for the science fair? I don't know what accent it was, but neither did she, because she's got some sort of accent happening.
Yeah, it seemed like she should have a European or a British accent, but she's just got kind of vaguely arch accent.
Right, yeah. And so who wants to come to my house? All the boys.
I think at that point, she's just saying who wants to meet up after school. I don't think she's directly inviting to the house quite yet.
Fair. But I think the boys are hoping.
All the boys' hands shoot up.
Yeah.
And all the boys' wieners shoot up as well.
Correct. And all the girls are like, okay, so let's go to lunch. So we're in the lunch line. Hot dog surprise, which made me crave a hot dog. Guys, I really am happy with my decision to not eat meat. We occasionally eat fish, especially when we're traveling and things like that. But one of the pieces of meat byproduct I miss the most is a shitty old traditional Oscar Mayer wiener. I want a fucking hot dog so bad. I don't want any of these gourmet vegan sausages, which are delicious, but they're not a hot dog.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So they're in the lunch line.
Yeah.
And Blaine is like, I'm meeting up with Dr. Toboggan after school.
Right.
And I got a carb up.
Let me tell you what's on this boy's plate. I wrote it down. Are you ready? We have 3 cartons of milk, 1 plate of greens, just foliage, 3 bowls of Jell-O, 2 plates of cake, and he grabs another one on the way out. Where's a carb?
Well, cake is carbs.
Is that what he said? But
bread.
I guess
it's not power food.
No,
it's not. I'm about to go bang for a couple hours. I need fuel.
Yeah,
you don't eat shitty cafeteria.
Jell-O's not a carb.
No, milk is not a carb.
Nor is grass. Yeah, what the fuck? This fucking guy. So Cordy then comes in, blows past the line with all of her gorgeous effervescent attitude because she gets to have a prescription lunch.
Yeah, her doctor drops off prescription food in the school freezer. She allows herself to go back behind the counter to fetch her lunch, announcing her business to the world.
And instead, she finds Dr. Gregory sans head.
So yeah, they find 7/8 of Dr. Gregory.
Right. And she gives a great scream.
That's the second time we've seen her scream. She's got a phenomenal scream.
Yeah.
And I will say, this is one of my only complaints about this episode is we barely get any Cordelia.
Yeah.
She makes a meal of it when she shows up, but she's in and out so quick.
Right. So understandably, now that a headless teacher has been found on campus, some children and a librarian are going to debrief about it in the library. Not a cop in sight, not an inch of crime scene tape.
No.
Though this is definitively a crime scene. the entire school should be cordoned off, but not in Sunnydale. So let's talk in the library. So Buffy's like, Angel warned me about this.
Oh, we skipped over this.
What did we skip?
When they meet at the Bronze, Angel takes his jacket off. He's got scars on his arm, and she's like, "What happened?"
Well, they're like active scratches, like they were bleeding, like they're new.
And she's like, "What happened? A Forkman get you?"
Yeah.
And Angel doesn't correct her, and then Buffy later tells Giles, "Yeah, that's all he said was Forkman." Angel never said Forkman. Buffy made that up.
Yeah.
And then attached to it.
Right. But we should also say that, as usual, that's the extent of the information that Angel gave us, which also, wait a minute, if he hadn't taken his jacket off,
how was that ever
supposed to come up?
Buffy brought it up.
Yeah.
And then he gives her like, don't let him get you alone. He can slit your throat.
Who?
With the forks.
Who?
Forkman.
No,
Spoonman.
But I'm saying who? Like, Angel, tell me more.
What does he look like? Where do we find him? How do we avoid? Give me some info.
Give me any info at all.
He's cryptic to a fault.
He's terrible at that.
So they're like, okay, so did Forkman cut off Dr. Gregory's head?
Right. And so they're like, I don't know, maybe, and then Giles doesn't like that we don't know what it is, that we have a scratched up Angel and a deheaded teacher. And so he's like, don't patrol, cut to Buffy patrolling.
Yeah, it's like, don't go out, don't do anything rash. And she's like, and then of course she does.
Yeah. And most of what she finds is some slightly insensitive portrayals of unhoused people, because that was one of the things that Giles was talking about. And I can't remember, like somebody else got sliced up and it was an unhoused man.
They found a guy who was cut to ribbons or something.
To ribbons. Yeah.
Oh no, it was a friend of his back in the Cotswolds that was also attacked,
but he went cuckoo.
So we've got a few attacks of this Forkman.
Right. So
like
that's
like the song.
Yeah. So that's what we think is slicing and dicing people. And so she, is patrolling around, and then here comes Forkhand Man out of the shadows, which Eric couldn't see because he's blind and our TV was dark. But Forkman Hand came out. What are you calling him? Spoonman. Thank you. And then the police show up?
Kind of. They hide behind bushes with flashlights.
Yeah.
I think so they could save money on police uniforms.
I guess.
In the budget, because we don't actually get a good look at the police.
But
who made a good TV police person?
Who?
You.
Oh, thanks.
In your guest spot on
Scorpion. I said Scorpio.
He looked good in that outfit.
I wish
just hot, but not so hot that you looked like a stripper who was pretending to be a cop. Like you were still on this side of, I buy that she's a cop.
Oh, thank you. What a high compliment. I didn't look like a stripper.
You almost looked like a stripper.
So Buffy is, trying to run after Spoonman. Miss French is walking home.
Dr.
Toboggan. And Buffy watches this happen. Okay. So she's walking down the street with her groceries.
Baguette sticking out of the groceries.
And
I'm her.
Thank you. And Spoonman comes up behind her and she turns around and Spoonman runs away.
He's like cowers in fear.
And Buffy's like, what the fuck? And who this bitch?
And he just dives right into a manhole.
Yep. Into the sewer. So he's going to go live in the sewers now. So back at school, Buffy is like, Giles, yo, Miss French ain't right. There's something wrong with Dr. Toboggan.
And he's like, well, I don't know about any monster that scares vampires.
Right.
So I don't know what you could be talking about.
Right. And we also learned that Giles kind of has the hots for her because he very specifically comments on how she is in fact woman shaped.
Yes. He's like, well, she's not a bug. She's clearly a human, virile, sexy,
woman. But I also hate how like incredulous everybody is, where they're like, well, she looks like a woman. She can't possibly be anything else. I'm like, we're talking about vampires.
So far we've got vampires, right? We've got witches that can cast very dangerous spells with Barbie voodoo dolls.
We've got Kool-Aid mouths.
But we draw the line at any kind of bug person.
Which is crazy.
That's just not real. That's not reasonable.
So Flutie is very sweet here. Flutie is really trying to do his best because he's like, everyone needs to see a counselor. All of my kids saw a beheaded teacher, and I'm like, first of all, why did all of the kids see a beheaded teacher?
The counter.
Because there was no crime tape.
You got to keep people away from
God
that
damn it. They didn't make it a fucking crime scene. So now all students of Sunnydale High were like, let me look at the headless teacher. Yeah, now they need a fucking psychiatrist. Flutie.
Buffy, though, in the few seconds she got to spend with the dead body, was like, I think there was teeth marks, yo. So,
yeah.
like, she's Columbo in this shit.
Columbuff. So we're back in Dr. Toboggan's class, but it's just, okay. So they're taking a pop quiz.
Yes.
But Buffo is late because she was doing Columbuff work, I guess. And in the classroom, Miss French comes up behind Xander in a very...
We'll do a little reenactment here. So Xander taking the test.
Here's how I would come up to a student if I was the teacher. Okay? So there's a couple things.
I'm taking the thing.
Yeah. So there's a couple things. One, I wouldn't come up and say, the answer to number 18 is this. I might look over his shoulder, hands behind my back, not touching, and I might say, great job, Eric. Keep going. And move on quickly to the next student. I would not do this. The answer to number 18 is my vagina.
Ooh, can
but that's what she did.
Can we put a stake in that and pick that up later?
Sure. You know, the things you have to do for your husband. So
it's not my fault you did it so well.
So she's being wildly inappropriate. She should be fired, not because she's some sort of monster, but because she's a terrible substitute teacher. Right. She is fired. But Buffy is like, oh, fuck, a pop quiz. So she's seeing this through the window. And then she turns her. Ready? Here we go.
So yeah, Buffy's peeking in the window, and Dr. Toboggan does a full Linda Blair. Head goes all the way around without turning her body.
Yeah. And Buffy's like, oh no. Oh dear. What now? So she goes and tells Giles. Mm-hmm. Willow is hacking into Lord knows what because she somehow figures out that a 911 call came in from Blaine's mom.
Yeah, so the night Blaine was supposed to meet up with her never turned up.
But I'm just like, Sunnydale is anarchy. Sunnydale is out of control. The police officers don't know when to be where. They don't know what a crime scene is.
They probably don't even have uniforms.
They don't. They have a 15-year-old who's just like hanging out in 911 chat. Like, it is a disaster. No wonder the vampires are like, we got to go to Sunnydale. There is not a rule in sight. We're going to be able to do whatever the F we want, and they are.
And they are, and they do.
So this feels like a infrastructure breakdown in Sunnydale, if I'm being honest.
If we're in Sunnydale, we need to refund the police.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Or pay a Slayer, because we know Buffy ain't getting paid.
That's fucked up.
We're gonna have to talk about that later, because we don't even know. Yeah, it's a huge can of worms. So Buffy is like, listen, something is up, and she starts remembering stuff that she learned from Dr. Gregory, where she's like, I know a fucking bug that turns its head around 180 degrees. It's a mantis. And so she says, I'm going to figure this out by doing my homework. She goes and looks for bug books. And
I think that as cute as that moment is, I think it was the little pep talk that Dr. Gregory gave her.
Yes.
And she's such a capable leader. She's so good at being the Slayer and not just the fisticuffs.
Yeah.
She's good at the Columbo.
Yeah.
She's good at the research. She's like,
she builds a community.
Great at her job.
She's a delegate. Well, she's not a great delegator. She needs to work on that a little bit, but
that's going to be one of her ongoing.
Yeah. But she's doing good. She's doing a good job.
Very easy to root for.
Yeah. So French,
Dr. Toboggan.
Is that what I'm talking about? Yeah. Dr. Toboggan is about to eat a snack of a jar of mayonnaise and one piece of bread so far. Why did she bring her own jar of mayonnaise?
Brought a 64-ounce jar of mayonnaise to school.
Like, just make the sandwich at home. You know what I'm saying?
Bring it one sandwich at a time.
Like, Like, what is happening? Why? Yeah. So then Xander comes in to be like, I'm here to help you make some model egg sacs. And she's like, oh, shoot. You know what? I left everything that I need at home. Maybe you should come over to my house after school. And Xander's like, boing.
Are you trying to seduce me?
Yeah. And so Xander's like, see you after school. Oh, we also learned that his middle name is Lavelle.
Very interesting choice.
Wild.
Alexander Lavelle Harris.
And you told me you figured out Willow's middle name?
I didn't figure it out. I looked it up.
I deduce from.
I didn't solve a troll riddle or something. No, I just looked
So what
it up.
is it?
Willow Danielle Rosen.
That's a beautiful name.
It really is.
And we know Buffy's.
Buffy Ann Summers.
Buffy Ann Summers. Yeah. And that's all we know.
Ripper Giles. I wanted to make ironic that I bring it up in this episode because I think we get absolutely zero Ripper in this episode.
I genuinely did not.
And we got some very much not Ripper in this episode.
Yeah.
Where Giles like, all this computer investigating you're doing. I'm sure it's all quite legal, I hope, yes?
Yeah, I didn't see. Ripper didn't show up in this episode.
But I had made a decision between last episode and now.
Do tell.
That I feel like I've been a bit of a stick in the mud where your Ripper love is concerned.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I've never heard this before in 16 years of being with this man. Go ahead.
That is not true.
Go ahead.
I feel like I want to approach this with an open heart.
Okay.
And I want you to show me this show through your eyes. And I am going to stop pointing out that Ripper is a figment of your imagination this early in the show. And so when you've got a moment that you think you see a touch of Ripper and you want to point it out, I'm just going to embrace that. I'm going to go along for the ride. I'm going to see what you see and eliminate any tension around the Ripper topic going forward.
Secret to a successful marriage, everyone.
Conceding to your wife.
Yeah, that's exactly right. As I am almost always exactly right.
Right. And as I said in the first episode, everything I say is wrong.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm off the hook. I can say anything.
Though weird, if you say that everything you say is wrong, that's wrong.
Well, it doesn't mean that everything I say is right. It just means that there might be occasionally a right thing in there.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So about to eat a snack. Xander leaves and we see that her snack is a really unappetizing cricket sandwich. And here's the thing is like, I'm not even shitting on crickets. Like I'll eat a cricket.
Where's your tomato? Where's your lettuce?
Where's your tomato?
Put some mustard on that
like
thing.
she just like literally takes a piece of white bread, spreads some mayo on it, puts some live crickets on there and folds the bread up.
Yeah, also,
like I'm like, lady, take some pride in your sandwich.
She brought a Costco tub of mayonnaise but could only afford one piece of bread.
Yeah, but like it's just I just feel like I have a lot of strong feelings about sandwiches. So like I just feel like this was like a particular abomination.
I guess I will say if I had another complaint about this episode besides the lack of Cordelia, it's that they lean into the fact that she's the bad guy pretty early on and there's no real misdirection. We don't get a like good Jessica Fletcher red herring where we think it's someone else and then it's not. They just the second she shows up, she's bad news. And they just kind of ride that till the wheels fall off.
Right.
So while Buffy's great for putting it together, she also got some very obvious clues.
Right.
If she sees a teacher spin their head all the way around.
That's how you know that something's up. If you guys, this is a PSA. If you ever see someone spin their head around and not be dead afterwards, they might be a praying mantis. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like we need to let people know.
If her head spins, the danger begins.
Oh,
PSA.
I love that.
The more you know.
So blah, blah, blah. They're still doing research. This is where we learned that Giles has a chum in Oxford, as he says.
I jumped the gun on that earlier.
I also jumped the gun about the Blaine 911 call. That's actually right now. So we learned that there were some attacks in the Cotswolds that drove Giles's chum crazy. He's in a
were these
straitjacket
attacks or these were praying mantis attacks?
Listen, I'm unclear. Somebody was attacking somebody and it's never good. And it was either Forkman or Mantis. I think it's mantises. I think we're talking about mantises.
Manti?
Yeah.
Manti Teo?
Yeah.
I think it's weird that this is a show that's Monster of the Week. We're on week 4 and we get two monsters, and it's very confusing
who we're talking about,
how the two are related, if at all, what's going to happen.
But this is where they put it together. Not only that Blaine didn't come home last night, but that Xander is going there as well. And Willow is definitely, freaked out that he has a date to go over there, basically. So Buffy goes and confronts Xander. And of course he takes it like a fucking douchebag. Like, what a dork about this.
He's like, oh, I get it. Someone's interested in me and you're jealous. And he like has this whole fantasy life.
And also is like, oh, I guess it's so unbelievable that somebody could be attracted to me. I'm like, yeah, it is unbelievable that a 40-year-old teacher would be attracted to you, Xander.
And at this point, I think they've put together too that she preys on virgins.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh no, Xander's doomed. And Buffy at first goes, oh no, Xander can't be a virgin. And you said, I think it's because Buffy's not a virgin and she wants to make it seem like, no, everyone our age has doinked.
Right. Yeah. Which means that she probably doinked at her old school.
Probably,
which I love. That's great.
Probably doinked Pike.
Pike. I bet she did. Good for her. Good for her. So we now go to Dr. Toboggan's house.
Yes.
And she's got her mantis boobies on display.
She's wearing a little
LBD,
little black dress.
And she's pouring martinis. And I want a martini. And Xander shows up and she pulls this whole, I'm so nervous around you. And I was like, bitch, I see what you're doing. Come on, get out of here.
But he doesn't. And that's why it's effective.
Yeah. Well, you guys are very stupid.
There's only so much blood in our body.
You're such stupid.
And it can be diverted in certain situations.
Honestly.
I don't need to explain. If your parents didn't have this talk with you, I don't feel like it's my responsibility.
I don't know how our species didn't die out because you guys are so dumb.
It's because the blood is going to that other place. That's how the species didn't die out.
Yeah. So she makes him a martini. Xander doesn't look like he appreciates it because he's never had one. I would say martini's a hard drink to appreciate as like your first. Yeah. Like it's not.
Reminds me of that time we went to, what was it called? The Brazen Head.
Yes.
In Ireland.
Yep.
It's supposed to be like the oldest
established
pub.
in 1198.
Yeah. So this oldest pub in Ireland, we go there. They clock our accents instantly. Like, oh, you're American. So like,
honestly, I don't even think we had spoken. I think we walked in and they were like American.
And so the bartender invites us behind the bar, take a picture. He pours us a shot of some Irish whiskey, something very expensive on the house. Fucking idiot Americans. We clink glasses and we shoot it because that's what we do with shots here in the States. This guy lost his damn mind. He goes, you're not supposed to neck it.
And I think he
called us thick Americans.
Yeah. And I think he gave us another shot to sip.
So like, you didn't even taste that.
Yeah.
But we have so that's kind of how Xander is. He doesn't like sip it. He just like, no.
Yeah. It was embarrassing.
Same shit.
Just as we were embarrassed. But then we notice he like kind of starts to like get a little drunk. And it's like, even though he doesn't drink, like he shouldn't be that drunk. Like she definitely like put something.
Yeah, one swallow of martini.
Yeah, it's not gonna
make you. He starts confessing his love for Buffy.
Yeah,
in front of the woman he's trying to bang. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
that's a rookie mistake.
And then she flat out again. This is very irresponsible, unprofessional teaching protocol. She says, "Would you like to touch me?" To be clear. Teachers should not ask their students if they would like to touch them. That's not allowed.
Because it doesn't matter what the answer to that question is. The touching is still off the table.
Is off the table. But instead, it's not her hand. It's one of these. It's one of these that comes out.
So she starts shape-shifting into her true Mantis Toboggan form right before his eyes.
Yeah. But he's kind of drunk and doesn't notice, and she drags.
What a disappointed boner.
Right?
Here's Mrs. Robinson in her little black dress with her goodies on display.
Yep.
And then she turns into a bug. Remember before when I asked you if we could pick up the role play later?
Uh-huh.
Withdrawn.
Okay, great. Cool. So I was tired anyway. I have a headache. So dragged downstairs. And this is actually where the whole virgin situation comes into play at the library. They read something about like that she prays that mantises prey on virgins or whatever she does or what, or Giles's friend says that they prey on whatever the fuck. And this is where Buffy's like, Xander's not a virgin, right? And Willow's like, he's most certainly a virgin. We gotta go.
Yeah, she's like, because he hasn't fucked, he's fucked.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, apologies that we kind of get some of this out of order. I think, unfortunately, when you just stick Giles and Willow in the library for the entire episode, it's hard to sort out what
like
scenes are happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Where.
You don't. It's all one scene. Like they probably shot that all scene
in one afternoon. So yeah. So again, lack of scope. I think holding the show back a little bit. Even though it makes sense that that's where they would do research. We keep getting it out of order because it all just runs together.
Right. She's still wearing Angel's jacket, by the way.
Yes, she is.
She's into it. She's down bad. So let's go down to Dr. Toboggan's basement where Blaine is in a cage with hay, which is truly inexplicable.
Yeah,
why is there hay on the ground?
It's like the baby Jesus is about to show up.
Because it's also like, did she have other things down there that required hay, or was she like, I think this is what human boys need?
they can feed on this.
Yeah.
So here's my question though. She's got a whole Silence of the Lambs thing going where she's like, it puts the lotion on its skin, like she's keeping them around.
Sure.
But she killed Dr. Gregory instantly. So why didn't she take him to the hay cage and wait?
Because I think what happened, it's strategery here is what she's like, I got to get this guy out of here. I got to get him out of the picture because I need to place myself here in order.
So it wasn't the same MO.
No,
she wasn't
I think it, but she did egg because later on in the episode, but I think that was not her primary goal. Her primary goal was to have a whole bunch of horny virgins around. He's not a virgin.
You don't have any idea if that man has fucked or not. You're making a big assumption.
I feel like Dr. Gregory boned down in his day. I do. Listen,
I'm not saying definitively one or the other. I'm just saying we don't have the evidence to make a call.
That's fair. We're getting in the weeds here. We're all in the weeds with David Pumpkins here. We also learned that Buffy really did listen in science class because she's like, one thing that fucks up a mantis's nervous system is bat sonar. So she sends Giles.
I wonder if that's true or if that's something the writers made up because they needed a thing. Like, do mantises even have a nervous system? Like, I don't know enough about bugs to know if that's.
I think they do. A nervous system is a brain that tells your limbs to do things. Like they have to have a nervous system.
Oh, well,
that's what
I'm not a bug scientist, so I'm not.
Well, I am, and I'm telling you that I don't know. It makes sense. Like if bats eat bugs.
So the idea is the bat sonar paralyzes them, freaks them out, and then the bats can feed on them.
Yeah, okay. It makes sense. Like I don't know, but it makes sense.
Circle of life.
Yeah. So Buffy's like, Giles, go make a recording of bat sonar. And then let's go. Back in the cage with Xander. He's actually very calm, cool, and collected. Like he knows what's up. Well, this is his fourth monster of the week.
That's true. And he probably feels like, well, she grabbed Blaine first.
Yeah.
So I'm probably at least going to get to watch what happens to Blaine before, so I'll have that extra bit of time.
Right. And so Xander is actually like kind of trying to not comfort Blaine, but is definitely like, we have to get out of here.
Right.
Whereas Blaine is like, take him. God, Blaine sucks a butt so bad. And the thing is like, that like this particular kid is not going to mature out of his suckage.
Right.
That suckage is going to fester and grow and spawn. And he's just going to be a miserable fuck.
And you know what else we learn about Blaine?
What?
The implication.
Oh.
The fact that Dr. Toboggan has grabbed him and put him in the hay cage means he's a virgin.
He's a virgin.
So it means all the shit he was talking about, all of the girlfriends, sisters he was going to bone down on, was all for show.
Yeah. So in their research, they also found records of who Dr. Toboggan is, and it's this woman who's Natalie French, but she allegedly was born in 1907, so is 90 years old. And listen, I don't know what her skin regimen is, but she looks great for 90 years old.
Maybe she only has skin for a portion of the time because she spends a lot of time in mantis form.
And then
the skin has not aged the full 90-something years.
And she just hangs it up somewhere, steams it.
Or regrows it every time. We don't really get a good look at it, especially the contrast was bad on the screen. I couldn't see half of this episode.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, I feel like
he just got vibes.
The show is handling all the big topics: homelessness, identity theft. This is a very special,
Buffy. Yeah, because we do learn. We go to the house where Dr. Toboggan is supposed to live, and it is in fact a 90-year-old woman named Natalie French.
Now, in this moment, I thought we were getting a fake out. I thought we were getting, she's a shapeshifter, so she could be
shifted to the 90-year-old woman. She could be hot for teacher. She could be old lady. She could be Mantis Toboggan. She could be anybody. Not the case. So now they're like, well, how the fuck do we find her fucking house, man? So here comes Columbuff. It's like, I have a theory. So she dives on down to the sewer. She pulls up old fork hands. And she says, use that nose of yours to find me a woman-shaped mantis, you coward.
So this is what's weird. So Angel apparently is giving warnings about Spoonman.
Mm-hmm.
He sliced me to ribbons.
Mm-hmm.
He cut up my beautiful arms. Be careful. Don't let him get near you. Buffy just goes and picks this guy up like he's a schmo and just
truly
twists his arm behind his back, puts him in a half Nelson, is like, all right, you're my sniffing dog now.
Yeah.
So this guy's supposed to be this scary threat that Angel's afraid of and is warning her, winds up just being a doofus.
I don't really know what Angel is doing right now. I really don't. I mean, it's wild because it's I didn't realize how much leeway I was giving Angel in these early episodes because I know what he becomes. But if you just take him at face value, what the fuck is this clown doing?
He almost doesn't even need to be in the show.
He almost doesn't need to be in the show other than those guns.
Yeah, no, he's a handsome hunk of meat standing in the shadows.
That's very unhelpful and in many instances confusing things further.
Right.
He's a mess. So they use the Spoonman to find her house, and they do. Xander's tied up.
At the last minute he breaks free.
Oh yeah, he breaks free. Yeah, I had a whole thing. They break free.
Buffy tries to kill him.
Xander tries to get out of the.
No. Spoonman breaks out of Buffy's grasp at the last second.
Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, I flipped. Sorry, everyone. I scrolled too far in my document. My bad. Because this is one of my favorite parts where he breaks free with his forehand and she falls into a garden of stakes.
It's just like a little tiny picket fence, wooden.
Mm-hmm.
Reminds me of the one we have. Ours is plastic that we put on our Christmas tree to try and keep our cats,
otherwise known as a white picket fence,
out of our Christmas tree. But we have a little, it looks like almost like a miniature mall Santa fence around our tree that does absolutely nothing to stop our cats from getting to our tree.
No.
But we put it up every year because, we have hope.
Right. And Buffy has hope, and that hope prevails because she grabs a stake and stakes him, and now we got to move on to the other monster. So now let's go to the other monster.
We never get the backstory though. Why does he have a forehand?
He's literally a plot device.
It's inscrutable.
He's a plot device. He and Angel are like, how do we get in this plot here? We got to figure this out. And they conspire to figure out how to be in this episode.
I'm going to make you sound really scary. Then they got to deal with you.
Yeah.
But then
put some scratches on me, man. It'll look really badass.
It's like at the end of Scream when they're like stabbing each
yes.
other. Like as a cover story. I just imagine Angel go like, all right, but not too deep.
Yeah, that's exactly what's effing happening. They can't figure out how to be in this show yet. So now we go downstairs. Buffy breaks in through the window and she's got her bug repellent.
Yeah, she came
which
loaded
is
for
so
bear.
Smart. And she tells Giles and Willow to get the boys to safety.
Well, there's a great gag where she plays the tape of the bat sounds.
Yeah.
And it's the wrong side of the tape.
And so it's just Giles talking about Giles things. And she's like, what the chock. And he's like, wrong side, which is, though, that kind of shit is always so funny to me because kids today are going to be like, wrong side of what?
Yeah.
It's like when we saw shows where there was like a phonograph in it. We were like, what's that? Like, it's so strange.
I don't know why there's so many Always Sunny things come up. It reminded me of when Frank is taping Dennis and Dee talking so we can listen to it like a radio show.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I taped over my Luther Vandross mix. Like, that's kind of what I imagine.
Or when he has Charlie giving him directions in the car off of a tape. Guys, we watch like 4 shows in this house.
And we watch them all 70 times.
Yeah. So that we can just kind of speak to each other just in show quotes.
Almost in code, yeah.
Yeah. So she flips tape over, bug sonar works, and then Buffy hacks Dr. Toboggan to pieces with a machete.
Yes.
And I want a machete.
Yeah, and Ketryn wants a machete.
I just think they're cool.
Xander takes the machete and hacks up the egg sacs.
But we do have to give Xander credit here because we are going to drag Xander to oblivion throughout this show. But it's only fair if we like give him credit when he isn't, when he does something where you're like, okay, there's your heart, there's your soul, there's like where you actually live when you're not being a douchebag. And he immediately is like, I'm sorry that I was such a douchebag when you tried to warn me. Like, Xander knows how to apologize. And I think that that's a big deal. Like, I'm actually being serious. Like, a character, a person, especially a white man, honestly, who knows how to apologize is legit. We got to give him credit.
Yeah. He doesn't learn from his behavior and improve and avoid it next time, but at least every time he does the same thing over and over again, he gives a very sincere apology.
I think he learns a little.
He's a very slow learner.
He's a slow learner, but I'm
jumping ahead to the Xander who left spoiler at the spoiler.
Right.
And that's several years from now, and he's still the same.
Spoiler at the spoiler. Yeah.
So,
I hear you. So hacking up some eggs. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. And this is also where Blaine threatens to sue everybody if they tell anyone that he's a virgin, because science has proven that he's a virgin.
Right.
There was a scientific experiment proving that Blaine is a virgin.
Yeah, we'll just bring up the whole Mantis Toboggan affair,
right?
And we'll win that case hands down.
Yeah. So we're gonna head back to the bronze. We got rid of our monsters of the week for now, so we got to take a break at the bronze.
Does that mean we get no monster next week because we burned through 2?
I don't know.
It's like when there's the rare double elimination on Drag Race,
right?
It's like you both sucked at this lip sync. Get out of here.
Yeah. And they did both suck at this lip sync. You know, neither of these are making it to the top 4.
Yeah.
But Buffy is brooding. And then another brooder comes over and says, may I brood with you?
And now we've got a brood of brooders.
Yeah. And I just wrote, he's figuring his shit out, acting wise.
Yeah. He
as a purveyor of information, as a character in this show, not figuring it out.
Yeah, they haven't figured out the writing yet, but he's definitely what we talked about with what's so good about Cordelia at times, even though she can be so elevated, she knows how to throw a line away and get more out of it.
Yeah.
David's throwing a few things away here and there.
Right.
And it makes him so much more palatable and makes him more interesting, frankly.
Yeah.
Draw us in. Don't hit us over the head. Make us come to you. And he's starting to learn how to do that.
And we're really starting to see like the crush is crushing in this episode. This is really where we start to see Buffy be not annoyed by him and attracted to him, which lines up perfectly with him taking some acting classes. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, nobody could love episode 1 and 2, Angel.
Girl.
But this guy.
All right.
Yeah.
How you doing? So everything's back to normal at school. We got a boring ass teacher. Mm-hmm. We do still see that
one student wants to bang this.
Not
teacher.
A one, but we do still see that once again, completely and utterly compromised crime scene that nobody appears to be investigating. Like, we know what happened, but like nobody else does. And his glasses are still there. His coat's still there. Like, this is evidence of a crime. Mm-hmm. And Sunnydale is just like, later. Nah.
We're busy in the bushes with our flashlights and our lack of uniforms. We're not showing up for this.
But then there's some egg sacs under the desk. And you know how those could have been found if they had done some fucking investigation.
Just done a sweep of the scene.
We would have found some fucking egg sacs.
You get your CSIs out there.
Yeah.
Taking some reference photos.
Yeah.
Dusting for mantis prints. Anything.
What a mantis. These look like mantis prints.
And so that's the episode.
Shall we do our superlatives?
Yeah, let's call a meeting of the yearbook committee.
Okay. Call them out.
Who do you got for most likely?
Most likely, I have most likely to be in his 40s with a display case of high school trophies and a highly unsatisfied wife, Blaine.
That's fair. I've got most likely to die as a result of his horniness, Xander.
Oh, can you die of horniness?
No, but his horniness is going to put him in situations where he's going to be killed.
Didn't even occur to me that way. I was like, oh my God, does he have like dangerous boners or something?
Yeah, he's got priapism.
Yeah.
And if it lasts more than 4 hours, you have to go to your doctor.
Oh my God, so scary.
Just say his horniness is, into a situation. All right, who you got for best dressed?
Oh, best dressed was Buffy in a good amount of this episode. She's wearing one of the most painful headbands that we ever had to wear, a little white baby tee, yellow slacks, and then Angel's oversized jacket.
Yeah.
Here for it.
I actually picked Dr. Toboggan in her Mrs. Robinson seduction dress.
Oh, her LBD.
She
looked great. She looked great.
You got for worst dressed?
What do I have for worst outfit? Oh, Xander's velour shirt with giant lapels. Like that was inexplicable.
I've got the singer at the Bronze in that first scene wearing this silver lame shirt.
And they were really neck and neck for me.
Yeah.
Xander and that guy. They were really giving each other a run for no money. It was, yeah.
Do your best line.
Oh, it was a double line. It was actually at the very end because I just found it really realistic and like exactly how that moment feels when she says to Angel, you can have your jacket back. And he says, it looks better on you. And then he walks away, looks over his shoulder, and she just goes, oh boy. And I just was like, I really, really, I love being married to you. I obviously love being married to you. I love this. I love this stability. I love how long we've been together. It's definitely a source of pride. The feeling that Buffy had in that exact moment where she says, oh boy, and she goes, and it's like, I'm in trouble. All those butterflies, all of those feelings, like it was so relatable. Like I just remember that feeling. And I think even when you're in, like, I'm being super honest, even when you're in like a really successful, like wonderful, fulfilling, long-term, we're going to die in each other's arms relationship, there is a morning where you're just like, but I'm never going to have that again, like that uncertainty.
Well, I could learn like some accents or something. Get a bag of wigs. You know.
Thank you.
Hello, Ketryn.
It'll feel just like the first time. Yeah.
That moment to me though, because I've seen the show, I know how much heartache she's in for.
Yeah.
It actually reminded me of a story Artie Lang told about the first time a girl he was seeing got him to do heroin.
Oh.
And then he said he had two thoughts. This is the best feeling in the world. Oh shit, I'm in trouble.
Wow.
And I feel like Buffy got that 1-2 punch as well.
She did.
And even if she doesn't realize it.
Yeah.
So that's what that reminded me of. Okay, so I'm going to have you do your...
What's your best line?
I'm going to have you do your worst line now because mine are a set.
Okay. My worst line is Blaine talking about girls, saying, a girl's got to have something to go with me. And then Xander's line. Okay,
so that was also my worst line.
Okay.
So again, Blaine's talking about all the girls he bangs and wants to bang and is planning to bang.
Spoiler alert, not a one.
He's not banged anything. A girl's really got to have something to go with me. That's the worst line. Best line, Xander goes, like a lobotomy.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Zing!
That was pretty good.
Xander Harris with the zing. That's zing with an X for Xander.
There you go. I love that.
All right. And then best move.
Best move goes to one Mr. Xander Lavelle Harris Dream Edition when he throws that steak.
Same.
He looked hot.
Same move. Same. I had the same thing.
Yeah. Great. So did you do? Oh, you did. Yeah, we did it all. Okay, awesome. That's it.
So that's our episode, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Before we part ways, like when you're walking to your car and you give someone a hug because you think you're going this way and they're going that way.
Right.
And then you wind up walking the same way for another block.
And you're just like, I hope that the earth swallows me up.
And then you hug again and then you turn the same corner. That's sort of where we all are right now.
Right.
But go check out our other show, Kim and Ket Stay Alive, maybe, starring her and her friend Kim. I saw your friend. She's my friend too.
Yeah, exactly.
They try to survive horror movies every week. You can find them on social media.
Also, she's my best friend. Please don't call Kim my friend. That felt so weird.
So dismissive.
Yeah, she's my best friend.
It's almost like she's like your lesbian paramour, and we're introducing her to your grandmother, so we just have to call her your friend.
Yeah, it was weird.
So hosted by Ketryn and her special friend Kim. They're at KK Sam Podcast on all the social media. I produced that show. I wrote the theme music. And every so often I'll pop in, but I'm not really on that show. I'm on that show sparingly. I'm the right amount of me on that show. If you want to follow this show, we're at Major Slayage Pod on all the things. Please click like, please click subscribe. Please leave a comment. If you liked anything about this, just tell us what it was. Mention it in the comments. I'll respond to the comment. We can get a little conversation going. All of that just helps us reach more people because we're in this for the long haul. We're going to do every episode of this show, probably Angel as well. And then we might do Vampire Diaries after that. I'm just kidding. Just made that last bit up. But we are committed to doing this. And so the more people we can connect with, the more fun it is for us. So help us out. That would be amazing. Check out our Patreon if you want to listen to us and watch our watch alongs. And I think that's all I got. You got anything?
Just love you.
Love you too. All right. And I love you guys. And we will see you next Monday. Until then, dust you later.
Bye.